Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. So finally, Grok 3 is also available in Europe. It's true that it's the beta version, but still, we can do a lot of testing. With this version, here we find that the deep search option is enabled, the think option is also enabled, but the third option, which is very well known, and that Elon Musk has talked a lot about, the third one, Big Brain, is not yet available today. We will wait a bit longer to see the activation of this third option. So you should know that to have Grok version 3 active, I was able to access it on the site x.com, and you must obviously have a premium account here, and especially Premium Plus, to have the maximum features active to be able to use it. Not to forget that there you have a small button at the bottom right when I clicked on Grok. Grok is also active as an assistant on the X site. That means that there I can ask it questions. It actually activates Grok 3 behind the scenes to give me answers. And especially there, it is very, very precise and highly focused on the XCOM platform. As you know, there is an enormous amount of data and information just on this social network. Now I can also access this platform on the grok.com site. Of course, to have Grok 3 and both functionalities here, you needed to log in there, but be careful. It's not the creation of a normal account. You need to log in with your account from x.com. That means when logging in, you won't choose to log in with Gmail, but click on login with my x.com account. Once you already have an x.com account with a premium version, at that point, I can simply access these features. And for this video, we are going to do quite a few tests. So at the beginning, I will start testing the reasoning strength and especially the execution time. As you can see here, it showed that it has much more performance compared to the O3 Mini High. With the O1 with the DeepSeek R1 and with Gemini 2 Flash Thinking. So to really show them who are the best, I tried to conduct tests on the three platforms, and I will give you the results right away. Before starting the video, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Fieras, I am a doctor in artificial intelligence and I am a professor at the university. So if this is the first time you are watching my video, I invite you to subscribe here because I publish daily training sessions, practical guides, and tutorials on the latest in artificial intelligence and digital marketing. And for those who are subscribed, I wanted to give them a little gift. It's exclusive access to my pack of 100 courses. You will find in the descriptions of this video the link to my e-learning platform with a special coupon, and this will give you access to 100 courses. So there are approximately more than 6,000 videos in various fields, marketing, artificial intelligence. So what are you waiting for to start? And now I wish you a good training. So here is the exercise. And you should know that to launch this exercise, I obviously wanted to first connect to Grok 3, and I obviously activated the think option here. And the same goes for DeepSeek, where I also wanted to activate R1 here. And regarding ChatGPT, I worked with the whole O3 Mini High to really compare the three latest technologies together. And taking it is very simple. I asked it to create a game for me, and look here, I specified that I wanted it to be in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And for the game, I simply wanted to make a game where I have an object that moves left and right, and from the sky we will see other elements falling, and it just has to avoid them. And it's a game where the score must be displayed. And if ever the object falling from the sky crashes into the main object, the game must restart. So it's simply a simple, clear prompt. And I executed it. First observation, I succeeded in thinking mode. So really, Grok 3 perfectly shows me its reasoning and how it thinks to create. And I really liked that because it truly shows me the methodology, the tools it will use, the way it will set up its algorithm even here in the algorithmic steps. And that's very interesting. There are a lot of details. I think it's the longest. So if I look here, it's the most detailed compared to the three intelligences. But be careful. It took 67 seconds, so a little more than the others. For DeepSeek, I'm talking about 36 seconds. So there, of course, it showed me the reasoning, but not all the way through, so it's not with much more detail. On the ChatGPT side, it set the record, taking only 14 seconds. but you'll see when I try to look at the details. It's still not generous. So in terms of information, there's not much in terms of information sharing. And that's a bit the way ChatGPT operates. It's always like that. Okay, now we're going to try to see what type of result I received. First with Grok, what I noticed is that it actually gave me 3 files. The HTML alone, the CSS part, and the JavaScript part. There is a very, very nice documentation inside, so the comments are very, very good. And that's something the others couldn't do. That means if I look at my DeepSeek, it actually combined an HTML, as you can see here, with integrated CSS inside. The functions and Dokuni are also inside, and it's a single block. The same thing with ChatGPT, it's the same, so I also have a single block. So the second remark regarding this output is that I would actually need to test this code. So with ChatGPT, I have to copy it and use another website to execute it. The same thing with Grok, the same thing. So here I have to, as you can see, there's always a little button there to copy the code. On the other hand, with DeepSeek, I have the option to run HTML. It's an option where the console will simply execute this code here. And that's really very interesting with DeepSeek. Now we will go test to see a little bit of the user experience if we test the 3 games, the 3 programs, and see which is the best. We are actually looking for the one that best meets my request and really gives me a game. With logic, without bugs, and with, let's say, a more or less interesting design. Most importantly, the score part is what interests me the most, whether it has understood how to implement this function or not. Let's start testing. I would like to begin with DeepSeek since it actually makes the task easier for me. And here I can simply click on an HTML. So let's just try to reduce the size here to be able to watch in full screen. And there you go, it has made the game. So here I am moving around. I think the movement is very, very good. So I'm moving left and right. What I actually liked is the size of the elements falling from the sky. It's very interesting. He made a nice design where there are several. However, the score aspect, if you look at the score up there, it increases very, very quickly. So the increment, I didn't like that much. Usually it should actually go in second mode. And another thing, I feel that it's the same difficulty, meaning that it doesn't increase the difficulty. It's like an algorithm that repeats itself. So in terms of the randomized function, for it to become incremental, I think not. But roughly speaking, at first glance in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, it gave a result that we can say is acceptable. So here we look at the game over, and there you go. So when there's a game over, I can click to retry and restart the game, and I think that's very, very, very good. However, if he looked when I move, it actually stops the game just before the 2 elements collide. Well, it's a bit of the algorithm. This is the first test. Now we will proceed to test the one from ChatGPT. We will leave Grok for the end. So, because I have already tested it, and I will let you judge the quality afterwards. So I'm going to copy this. So I do a simple copy here, alright, and now I'm going to open a website. So apart from that, it's going to be the website liveweave.com. It's a site that will allow me to quickly, even without creating an account, test HTML, JavaScript, and CSS code quickly. Here's the LiveWeave site. So here on the site, I can add in this part. In this frame, I can actually add HTML code. So I'm going to copy some HTML code here. I'll paste it there. The code is there. So now I have the game, but well, we're going to increase it a little here to be able to play. We'll set it like this. I restart and now I begin. So first, the elements are actually the same size. So there isn't that creativity to make elements with different sizes. The speed is constant and the score is correct. I find the score is good. So here the score is much better than that of DeepSeek. And so there you go. If it's game over, I can click to start again. So there you have it. A simple and classic thing, but there are no bugs. So it's really very, very easy to handle. Let's look at the collision actually. So here the collision is good because it stops at the moment of the crash. So this is the second test. Now what needs to be done with Grok is to copy the HTML, copy the CSS as you see here, and also copy the JavaScript part. So really there are a lot of files, and all these 3 files, we will paste them here in the 3 places. So here I paste the HTML, here I paste the CSS, and here I paste the JavaScript. So let's try to look at the game together. So this is the game actually. Now the game already, the element at the bottom is a bit different, so it increases in difficulty at first. And what I noticed is that the score is not displayed well enough, right? So the score here doesn't change per second. And there is still a variation in the level, meaning it's not constant. Sometimes there are different speeds, sometimes there are much fewer. The sizes of the objects are the same. If there is a collision, then we crash, so it doesn't give me a game over but automatically restarts the game. So this is also different compared to others. So look here, it's very difficult. You can feel that there is difficulty, that the difficulty increases gradually. And so this is the game. Now, if we compare the 3 results with Grok, DeepSeek, and ChatGPT, we find that ChatGPT is the fastest to produce the result. DeepSeek is the second in terms of speed, and Grok is the third because it took much longer. Here, we're talking about 67 seconds. On the other hand, in terms of reasoning detail, Grok is generous. It explained and transparently showed its thought process and how it found the solution. That matters because in terms of reasoning, it's the second and ChatGPT is the third because it practically showed nothing. Now regarding Grok, I really like the neat way it output the files because it separated them into 3 distinct files, which is much cleaner in terms of programming. Also, in terms of design, it is different, and in terms of challenges, it's very interesting. Regarding DeepSeek, don't forget that it has the console where we were able to execute it directly. The variety of details is very interesting, and especially in terms of difficulty, you can feel that there is indeed some variation. On the other hand, regarding ChatGPT, the only aspect that was correct was the score. Actually, if we are going to rank them, we can't just say 1, 2, 3, because there are criteria that need to be considered. But still, what's certain is that Grok comes into play. That is to say, Grok, if I want to do development programming, is really a very good competitor. And it's simply an artificial intelligence that is starting to make its mark on the market, just with a very simple test for game creation. And for people who are our coders, using Grok is very interesting due to the reasoning details, and it will help explain and better understand how development actually happens. And that's very, very important because it helps to better understand the game to make modifications. Not just any project, not only a game, but for programming. It's very, very important for the person who codes to at least understand the reasoning, because with this understanding, they will be able to better manipulate the machine to produce even better results and to fix bugs if there are any. So there is another test that is very, very interesting. Here we will actually look at both the coding side and the strategic side. On the marketing strategy side, can it be capable of creating my sales page? That is to say, here I actually asked it to work and send me back the first page of my website, a sales page. My goal is to sell courses within this page, and I provided it with some screenshots. Specifically, I sent 6 screenshots of my old site, telling it, this is my old site, my old sales page, which I intend to change and update. And in this site, I told it, oh, listen, my goal is conversion. I want people, when they enter this site, to actually increase the number of conversions. So, as a result, I send the same task or the same prompt here to Grok. The same thing to DeepSeek, however. With DeepSeek, it limited me to adding only 3 images. Yet, on DeepSeek, when I click here, it tells me that I can go up to 50 images or 50 documents. I didn't really exceed that, but still it limited me to 3. And with ChatGPT 03 Mini High, it simply took the 6 images, and I used the same prompt. Now, if we look at the timing, I start with ChatGPT. It's the fastest. So here it's 25 seconds, but obviously in terms of reasoning, it doesn't actually give you the details of its reasoning. DeepSeek takes a bit longer, 38 seconds, and actually gives me information on how it perceives things, how it will proceed to work on that. As I said, it's very important to see how the intelligence functions, because by reading that before reading the result, we understand why it sent that result. That's why if we want to modify or correct, it's like telling it you thought in this way, but I want you to think in that way. And so it's the second in terms of timing and response time. And here, if I look at Grok, it took much more time. Well, listen, 92 seconds is not a lot of time. A human to do that might sometimes take a day. But for artificial intelligence, look, we really achieved it. We set the bar very, very high. We start and compare between seconds. I'm sure that in a year, if this video stays on the internet, in a year we'll be talking about milliseconds and why not fractions of a second. So intelligence is moving towards that pace. Okay, so here I have the result. So Grok always keeps the concept of returning in HTML on its own afterwards. Here I find the CSS or then I find the JavaScript side, in fact, when you see here. And to run DeepSeek, DeepSeek returns to a single result, but we can exploit it here. So we will start with DeepSeek since the exploitation is very fast. So for it sees the sales page like this, and we will actually try to do a little diagnostic between the three results to understand a bit, not which is the best, but rather which intelligence has better understood my need. So here, on the first homepage, I see with DeepSeek in the header, meaning the top of the page, it has actually highlighted, let's say, the goal of the training, becoming an expert in digital marketing and artificial intelligence, the complete training with its certifying course, and here, a bit of the call to action because there is a 50% discount and the satisfaction guarantee. I actually like the header. It goes straight to the point, showing the advantages of this package, which is very, very interesting. Then it offers, in fact, it gives the bonuses. Well, it's true that in terms of design, we could do much better. I don't know if we should reduce the size. Maybe it's being presented in an expansive mode. No, it's the same thing. Well, design-wise, he could have done better with the layout of these bonuses. And here, he showed the package space, meaning the pricing. And here, there is the testimonial section at the bottom. It's true that it lacks a bit more to include the terms of use section. There is a lot of information in the button at the bottom of the page that really needs to be worked on and developed. But in any case, as a result, I really like the top of the page. I'm not talking about the design, but about the information and strategy. It's very interesting. All right, let's test the GPT chat. So here it gave me an HTML code. Let's check. Let's see if there are no other codes. You see, in the HTML, it included the JavaScript, but I always prefer to have different pages. Okay, a single page. So we're going to come here to livewave.com and actually test the HTML. So we're going to copy it here and try to look at our page together. In terms of color, I like it. I think it's clear now. In terms of design, it's much, much better. Honestly, I like the design. So regarding the header, let's try to look at that. Here he put it, I see he did it in English, okay? However, I have the screenshots, I put it in French, but well, he responded in English. And here, he actually put the call to action. It's true that from a marketing perspective, I prefer the DeepSeek part because there's the call to action. Here, actually, you see, it's very important. The advantages of satisfying a 14-day scholarship, very interesting. The word certifying, I actually like it. So from a marketing standpoint, it's clear that DeepSeek is much better. Now looking at the display side, why choose the courses? That's very, very interesting to actually highlight the advantages. The testimonial part here, also very interesting. Well, it's not a problem on the photo side. It's normal because afterwards we can actually give him the photos so he can integrate them. Here, the benefits, again, he highlights that. I actually like the proposal he made to me to use this format of 3 packages, 1 package, because I also told him, listen, you have the green light to suggest how I comment on the sales, and there you go. He proposed a package right in the middle there. to provide the information, full access, VIP coaching is very interesting, and a basic package, very interesting. There, I really like the FAQ. It's very, very important actually, because I also sent him some microprints on the FAQ, and there too, at least he put it at the bottom of the page. That's the minimum to do, and it's very, very interesting. I see there he hasn't personalized it like DeepSeek personalized it. I saw Dr. Faraz somewhere, so DeepSeek personalized it. I don't know where it is, but oh no, he hasn't personalized it. But I would have really liked it if he had personalized it, because in the screens I already put the customization part. I installed my name. So he should have detected it and displayed it here. Now we are going to test the Grok. So Grok here has given 3 files. We are going to copy them. We will start with the HTML simply. We will take the HTML part. So I copy that. I open a new editor here. I paste this first part there. I take the second part, which is the CSS part. I will copy it. I put the CSS here, and I also take the JavaScript part. In any case, the editor there to test online. I will give it to you actually. Here is the site link. If you ever want to test it yourself, there you go. So no need to create an account. You enter here. See, I'm not logged in with an account. I can test. I can even go to test Python, but that's a little bit with a Python pack, but it's not expensive. It's very, very interesting for those who really want to make applications with AI manually and test it in this way. So now I copy and paste the JavaScript part. We said, here we go. I take the JavaScript. I put the JavaScript here, and let's go. We will try to see a little test. Honestly, in terms of design, I like this much better. Why? Because this design, if we compare it with the blue and white one, is not as readable as this one with the green. So really, in terms of the machine interface, I prefer this level. Okay. I like the call to action here for the role. So well, he did it in English, very interesting. And the personalization, I like that. So it detected in the screenshots the information of trainers and friends and highlighted it actually. So the fact that there are 100 courses, honestly, it makes me want to start updating my website, because since the site, it's true, as long as it works, it functions, it makes a lot of sales. I said, let's leave it like that. But I think it's very, very interesting to also take the step to update the site. Here, there is the section to browse the courses. Here is for the testimonial. And this is a bit about the benefits of this course and the pricing. I don't know if it's a one-page, meaning if I click this, will it scroll down? Yes, very, very good. That's thanks to JavaScript, actually. So here, it actually gives me why it is purchased. So the good reasons, maybe this, I don't know if they are animated or not. They are not animated, but there should have been a little animation on the buttons, or to enlarge a bit. If we hover the mouse over, that's a little bit for people who have taken the courses, actually some testimonials. The characteristics actually in relation to these courses, since there are downloadable resources, interactions in the courses, certifications. And here, regarding the pricing, I like this. She suggested offering one to access 50 courses and one to access 100 courses. That's nice, actually. I'm going to think about it, honestly. The 14-day refund policy is here. On the bottom of the page, it's the best bottom of the page. Here, it is really personalized. And I like that. Maybe he left the year. It was on the website, but well, it's the new site, so we'll put 2025. Honestly, if I look at this result, I prefer it. It's much better than that one. In terms of design, layout, and also thought process. And for DeepSeek, there are many things to improve graphically, that's for sure. And I think that's it. The result speaks for itself. In terms of programming Grok, I can tell you very, very well. I think it's a serious competitor in artificial intelligence. And so we've tested Grok. I think Grok 3 is a serious competitor to ChatGPT and DeepSeek. I think it will take its place. So please tell me in the comments what you think of this technology and whether you think these recommendations, if I take them into consideration, will increase the conversion rate of my website in training sales. I would love for you to write in the comments what you think about it. Should I take Grok's advice and update my site or not? Thank you for watching this video. So if you have any questions, feel free to write to me in the comments. I do my best to answer all your questions. And if you like the video and want to see the latest updates, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much and see you soon.